welcome to my channel. It's underscore Gintu. Here I'm just standing where the first big fish pond is just located. As you can see now, we are just done with the sealing all the seepages that we could be having here. The barrows, everything is just sealed. As you can see, water now is just popping out, so as we can now withstand and get so much amount of water just raising up, so as we can now get the full compacted fish pond with water. So as you can see, we have just as you can just see here, we have some locks here. We have the outlet and we have the inlet. We don't have the inlet. We have the inlet of the second fish pond, but from here it's just an outlet. So guys, every pathway is just sealed, so as we can now study the water how it's just moving at this fish pond. So we have a water source here. As you can see how it's just draining here. We have a water source here, which is just a spring, and we can just call it a spring source because we rely on this water that's just going to pop in at our fish pond. So we have sealed everywhere with we have compacted it using the cement bags. The cement bags will just create barrows whereby the breeding of fish will now occur at this fish pond. But as you know, the spawning of the tilapia always they go to the ground, but if they need an extra space, they just go to the barrows of where now you can just find the bags where the cement are just located. But the most thing that's just reliable here is we want water to be clear, so as we can now install like 50 fish, so as we see if we can have or they can just adjust with the climate, so as if they can just withstand, so as we install more of them. So if we could have just a problem, we shall know more about it, because after the installation we shall know more about where the problem might be. So we need water to raise up, so as we see if we can just have some barrows or seepages around the fish pond whereby we might lose some water. But at this point where now we are just standing, we don't have any seepage around the fish pond. So we are just about 3/8 of water just full out of our fish pond, which is the big one. It looks like a athletic swimming ponds, as you can see. It's like a swimming pool, athletic swimming. It's just very long. This is the largest pond we are just having here. So we have 3 ponds here. We have this, the big one, the second one, and the third one at the far end. So we want to reinvest in this fish pond, so as we can see if the idea of fish farming it will occur. So we have a clean source of water from this point, so it is going to neutralize that water, so as it will now be clear as fast as possible. We have good, awesome amount of water entering our pond, so we cannot just have any problem with the water. So as you can see, we have an extra water tank there constructed there. It's just full of water. That's what we call an alternative. In case we have a failure of water to be filled at this fish pond, we will rely from that water to be pumped using a generator onto our pond. So we have an alternative there. But this part, as you can see, where just standing, this part is just going to be cleared. Everything, the mud is just going to be cleared here, so as we have the hardcore that will be just compacted here, so as we have a clean source of water here. But to our guests who are just coming to arrive at this section, we will just allow people to enter this spring of source minus shoes. So you can just remove your shoes outside here, so you can just approach the source of water, so as you can just shower legs or something like that. We have a small pool here, so you can see this part is just restrained, so we cannot lose water from this part, and the other part is just constructed. You cannot lose water from that part. So everything is in position. I'm going to film a video whereby I'm just going to show you on how we are just going to fish, so as you can just install some 50 fishes here, so as they are just brood fish, so as they just be contained here, so as they can just adjust with the climate and neutralize the water, so as you can now install more and more brood fish from tomorrow. Thank you guys, keep on watching. I shall be updating you on more details about the fish farming in terms of production, in terms of installation and feeds. Everything will be just occupying the space, as everything is just neutral. So guys, keep on locked, watch the ads and the video, just watch till the end. It's underscore Gintu for more uploads in terms of fish farming. Hello guys, it's underscore Gintu. As I have just told you about, I am coming onto my project here, which is the fish farm here project that I am the director here, so as we can now fish like 50 fish from here, so as we can now install at I am Marwa's place. So it's now the time of fishing, guys. So I have 3 fish ponds here, as you can see how they are. As I can just enter through this path here, it's not so huge, or it's not so deep in terms of how people might be thinking, but the more you go to the center of this pond, it somehow has a pot like, so it's just somehow deep at the far section. So here at this fish pond, it was just renovated. This is the new upcoming water we have. We rely on our natural water at this place. As you can see, we have the water table that's just here. It's just at the I am Marwa site. So this is the project of fish farming. Here it's just 25 meters by 15 meters length and width. So the installation of fish here is like 2,000 fish per annual, which is it will depend on the market demand, if it will be just annual or it will just be a half a year. So the cycle of the tilapia fish is about 10 years. Can just stay for 10 years, so it can now become 5 kgs. But due to our market competition, we cannot go at far end like that. So we rely on the local market, whereby we have our specific grams and the size of fish they need. So I always install 2,000 fish here, whereby they are just grown up to 6 months, so as we can just harvest. It will comes up to 150 to 200 grams per 6 months. So we rely on concentrate feeds that improve the immunity and the body building, whereby we can get a strong and good quality of tilapia fish from here. I rely on 2 types of fish, which is the tilapia fish, which is subsectioned into 2. We have the red tilapia and the blackish, bright blackish tilapia. So that's the type of tilapia fish we are just wearing here. So in terms of, we can just talk about in terms of the brooding, or in terms of the breeding, we have I install what's called the monosex tilapia fish, which is the male only, because compared from male to female, only male have a high growth rate than the female tilapia. So I rely on male business only, whereby they have a good growth rate. So in terms of getting maybe a mixture, I can just get 3:1, which is a ratio, or 5:1 as a ratio of male to female. So as you know, when you just install this for market purposes to get a profit, so it's not for enjoyment or family purposes. So you have to be so strong in terms of investing and everything. So we can just go around, so as I can just show you where the nets are, so as we can now fish some tilapia for I am Marwa. Come with me. Maybe I can just tell you they are of a same size, maybe fish pond, maybe I can just go in. You can see they are of the same size. Wherever you can just go, maybe to the center of the pond, it's the same. From this point to the far point, it's the same. But the only things that are just there is the more you go the internal of the fish pond, the more the mud. So the sides of the pond has a very minimal mud. So the farther you go, the more the mud. So you can just stick onto the ground. So you can just prosper to the 3rd fish pond, where now we are going to get some fish from. Come. This is a harvesting basin. So as now, if we can just harvest some fish, we are going to put them inside here, so as they cannot suffocate or get some maybe mechanical injuries or anything about so this is just a harvesting basin. So we are going to harvest them from there, 50 brood fish. So as we can now put here water, I can just show you. We have some water here, so we are going to take some fish from that fish pond, so as we can just put them inside so they cannot suffocate and die because of oxygen or the surrounding, which is the water. So here we have a fishing net. It's called a seine net. This one here, it's just a seine net. It has some floaters, which are just the plastic balls, and at the downer level we have some metals here, which are, you can see they are just sinkers. So if you inlace them onto the pond inside here, so this one sinks because they are just metal. So if they sink onto the surface, so we get that what's called, you can now pull the net and get the harvest. So we can now chip in, and we can just show you the net's just 2 inches. It's just going to get some few fish because of the size of these holes. As you can see them, it's over 2 inch. You can see these ones here, 2 inch. So it's just going to capture some. It's not a whole of the fish pond, because they are somehow small, not of this size, because this for the harvest, the final harvest. But we are just going to take a little bit from here. So they are just 3 months, so it's not yet harvest, but it's just called reallocating the fish from one pond to another. Nice. We can just say about most of the people know that this is just a harvesting net, but it's not a harvesting. It's not called a harvest net, but it's called a seine net. It's just 2 inches. As you can see, the holes are just 2 inches, so that you can just harvest more fish that are just mature in terms of your market demand. It will now depend on the market demand. You can just get this net. There are nets over 1 inches, there are nets over half an inch, 3 inches. So it will depend on your market, so as now you can get the fish from the pond. But my fish pond right now, it's just, they have just 3 months old, so they are somehow small. We are just going to go some 3 to 4 rounds, so as we can now get the 50 brood fish for reinstalling at a marwa site. So we are just going to roll in, so as we can now see how the net is just working. But some you will now experience some brood fish just trespassing above the net, beneath the net, so they are going to jump because they are so small. They just pass through these holes. We are going to just harvest, or are going to get some fish by like 3 to 4 rounds, so as we can now get like 50 brood fish for reallocation, or pre-invest in the other shamba. So we are just going to roll in.
Okay, before we roll in,
yes,
I just want to know, how did you start?
Okay, I started like some 5 years ago in terms of fish farming. In that time I was just finishing my Form 4 study, so I had to be a man, so I can just look for my own thing. So that's when I just purchased this land here. So the land was just bare, and no one could just cultivate anything here because it was like a swampy area. So I just needed to maybe cultivate some rice, but I had no idea in terms of rice plantation. So I went abroad, and maybe I went to Google and I searched what can I just invest in terms of at a place like this. So I got an idea of fish farming. So that's why I constructed this first fish pond here, where now it was the largest. I relied on people who are just so eligible in terms of and knowledge in terms of fish farming, so they constructed this mine here. So, but as a farmer, how I was just interested in fish farming, I went further, and I just dug this one alone by my own manpower, and this one as the third one as with my own people who are just the manpower, because I never relied on maybe machines because of the capital. So you rely on what you can just manage.
I want to know, when you started, apart from the online information you got, did you undergo any training?
I never went any training.
And for a person interested, yeah, to start a fish farm like you, yeah, what amount can you recommend he or she should have?
Okay, okay. It will determine with your place and the people who are just around you, because you can. This is when I started this one. It was when people were not elites so far, because you can now get people can just dig this one, but it was somehow cheap. But nowadays I constructed this one 3 years ago. It was more expensive than the first one, because people had now knew that the fish pond have money, so and they need maybe to invest and get some money. So as time goes, and it will depend on where you are, because this area, it's in a remote area somehow from the center. So it's only what I can just talk about. I am Maro who just brought here light, so as people can now expand and know the business, how it's just going. But to come up with such a pond, you should have like 30,000 for just digging it out. But it will depend on where you are, because in here where now we are just standing, it's somehow remote area, so they just done for 30,000. So it will determine if you are beside maybe a city, you are along maybe a river, maybe complications they are there. So at the moment, the actual point, the actual money just
Let me spot. Yeah, for those interested in starting fish farming, yes, what is that one thing you should let them know before they begin their business?
You should have, if you are not the managing person who is just having the knowledge in terms of fish farming, you should have a personnel. The person who is just going to keep them should be of not only elite in terms of fish farming, but has what we call experience and skills in terms of fish management, because most of the people have just studied about this fish farming, but in terms of theory, but practically here at the field it's so different, because you are just told if you can just let me use maybe an example. We can just say about if you know your fish are just going to suffocate, maybe water silt is just high, maybe you are just advised to use some salt, so as they can now cure them. So you have that theory, but you don't know the specific maybe measurement of the pond, how it is, so how many installation of fish, which kind of salt are you going to use. So you should have so much knowledge in terms of that one. So it brings so many chaos in terms of the field, because sometimes we use local material, so as they can just keep us moving, like using of a cow dung, because it has so many positive impact in terms of fish pond or management, because it has some several impact which are it does not allow here any snake to roll it around, because it does not go hand in hand like snakes and the cow dung. So, and another point, cow dung will just turn water into green, so as it will not expose fish to the predators. So not so many times while you are just at the ground, you will know more. But in terms of theory, you are just advised some other things that are just complicated in terms of books. So the ground is just different from theory.
I want to know where you get food for the fish and how much you invest.
In terms of feeds, we have a challenge there, because they are so expensive. The company just they are just talking about Russia and Ukraine, Hamas. They just talking about, so it's just expensive. But even getting those ingredients of making those products, like the grow mash, the starter mashes, it's so expensive. Like you can just get soya, you know soya.
Yeah, I know soya beans.
So getting it is just so expensive. So purchasing soy is just expensive. Sunflower, we have what is called the cotton seed cake. So those are the ingredients that they are just using, so as we can now produce this type of tilapia fish here. The type of fish we are just going to fish is just the Nile tilapia, which is of a red and somehow black, bright black color.
So I also wanted to know, where do you get your markets? Do you get guys driving all the way from somewhere to come and pick them, or you're the one who responsible for the market?
Okay, somehow.
How often do you?
Me, according to me, I have a local market, whereby my market depend on on me with the size of fish they need. So as you know, most of the people should know this way. The bigger the fish, the more the expenses or expenditure you have used upon them. The small fish, you know, the market of small fish, you have invested small, not like you want to produce the big fish. You will have the small fish is around 6 months, you should have 150 to 200 grams. But if you want the big size of around 1 kg, you should go up to 1 year. So you calculate the fish eat twice a day. So around 10 a.m. and around the 4 p.m. So twice a day, it will now depend on the grams they are. So as you can now calculate the size of the feeds you are just going to give them per day. So if you go up to that, whereby if you want them to be so big, you should have a good amount or awesome amount of capital for investment, because they just need so much feeds to eat. And it will depend on which kind of feeds are you using. We have the man-made feeds and we have the concentrate feeds. The concentrate feeds, they're just from the market, and this one local market, which is like the maize husk, like the millet husk, the wheat husk, the rice husks. So, but in terms of using the local material to give your fish like feeds, it will bring some harm unto them, because they just sink, because the tilapia fish are bottom, they are just top feeders, they are not bottom feeders. They eat whatever is just floating on the surface of water. So if you use the local one, like the maize husk, sometimes sink onto the ground, whereby if it sinks there, the particles that have sunk into the water will just rot. They will just produce some what we call the substances that are just chemically, in terms of chemistry, you know, about what rots brings out some substances that are not, all can just talk about pollution. Okay. So they just cause something by the name hydrogen sulfide onto the ground surface, whereby it will now go and turbidise the water, so as it can now have that hydrogen sulfide onto all the surface of water. So that one will just kill your fish because of using the local market feeds. But if you use the concentrate, they are just measured, and they have just gone through every analysis of the fish farming project. So if you just pour them here, they just float on top of water, so they can just feed. So
I want to understand, now you have 3 fish ponds. What's the dream?
I want to be one of the biggest supplier in terms of large markets. So as you see, this fish pond here was somehow small because of the size how it was. So I have just now expanded. So even this one, if you can just see from the previous videos, maybe that channel was just, I blocked it, but they were somehow small. But when I just renovated them, I made sure that I have expanded them so as I can now accommodate as more fish as possible. So I can now install 2,000, but back here I was just installing more like 1,000. So when I finish reallocating this fish from this fish pond, now I'll just rehabilitate. It will look like the others, so they are just clean. So now I can now reinstall the tilapia fish again, which are the fry or the fingerlings.
Okay, thank you for your time. Show us.
So show us. Yes.
Since I may harvest how many times? Since you started, how many times have you harvested those fish?
Due to when I started, I had low knowledge. You know, the more you stick onto something, the more you get some knowledge about it. So at first I was just using some concentrate mixed with the manual made foods. So at that time I was just going up to 10 months or 1 year, so as I can now harvest. But some 2 years ago I got a knowledge in terms of getting the concentrate feeds, and I had money, so I could purchase so much food. So I am going up to 6 months old. Yeah, so per year I can just harvest twice. Yeah,
twice.
Yeah, twice a year.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I can now show you on how we are just using this seine net in terms of capturing fish, so as we can now reallocate them from my fish ponds here to Marwa site.
Do you use any type of food maybe to catch the fish?
No, these are no. We are not using, because we are just advised. If you know you are just going to harvest fish, if you are going to harvest fish, it's tomorrow. You cannot give them food for like 2 days, so as the food that they had ate, so as they can just do work, because we will just be losing some feeds. Because if you can feed them now, you are just losing feeds because we are just going to harvest.
Oh.
So you will be doing nothing. This is just the grass that is just attached.
I have a question.
Yes.
Is it recommended to fish in the daylight or at night?
No, they are just it's in the
I see other people
daytime.
fishing at night.
Nighttime is just the big source of water, like the lakes, the oceans, because this is just a small source of fish farming, just a small source of water. You can just fish during. You can just use this kind of a net, because the bigger the ponds, the bigger the nets you are just going to purchase, because you can see from where that guy is up to where I am, it's so big enough so as you can just go once up to the far end. You can see it.
Yeah.
And how deep are the fish ponds?
It's like 0.90 meters to 1.20 meters.
Okay.
Yes, it will now depend on the size.
You are so exact.
It's just 0.90 meter
Yeah.
to 1.20 meter.
What is that? The depth or
The depth. Yeah, in terms of the length, it's just 25 meters by 15 meters.
Okay.
Yes, the length and the width.
So you're going to fish right now?
Yeah, I'm going to get some brood fish from this fish pond.
Yeah.
So as I can now go to reallocate, I'm just going to reallocate them.
The other
Yeah.
fish pond is already ready for it.
Yeah, it's ready for installation of a few, because we are just going to sample. It's for sampling like 50. So as we can now sample and see if we have, they can now adjust onto that climate or the water, what you call the coldness of that water. So if they withstand that climate at that far end, but we have the same water table from here to Marwa's place.
Okay.
So if they can just survive up to tomorrow, we are now going to harvest this full fish pond tomorrow.
Wow. So how many are you harvesting?
50.
A good number of 50.
It's a good number.
Yeah.
So are we going from this point to the far end, or we start from there so as we come here so as you can view?
I think no, you start from there. You come.
Coming this way.
Yeah.
You can go. You can see them jumping, eh? Yes. Yeah, they're just jumping. You can see them.
Wow, must be very heavy. Must be heavy, very heavy. You can see that.
20, 20, 20.
Oh, do you see that? Wow. So they've already caught some fish. Let's go and see.
Others have just. We have. We have someone here. Some are small, eh?
Yeah.
So you can see what I was just talking about.
So is the net?
The net has a.
The net is big.
Yeah.
Oh, we have one here.
There's another one there. We have this one here.
Is it,
Yeah.
can it sting you?
No.
They
You can just, what you are just advised,
Yeah.
you touch them from the gills.
Oh,
You touch them from here so as they cannot just shake.
wow, guys.
Yeah. Help us with that water so as we can just,
Wow, we saw them jumping like
you
crazy.
can now go and install them at that point.
Wait, it will jump back.
Come and throw it into water so it cannot suffocate so fast.
What have you added in this water? It's going back. Yeah, it's jumping.
What is just the way it is, just natural.
Yeah.
Because you can see it's from that far up point there. It's not yet clear so far.
There's another one? So you have to keep on repeating the same process?
Yeah, because of the net.
You just got to see only. The net is big? Yeah, and the fish are...
The fish are somehow small.
So guys, as you can see, that's the first round, and Gintu is going to the second round, guys.
I'm going for the second time,
So guys, tell me what do you think about this video, as you have been taught like how to catch the fish. So they are going to the second round. So you are going from this side to the other side.
Yeah. Maybe somebody to come with that basin maybe. Oh, we shall catch
They
them.
are going for the second round, now they're going for the opposite direction.
Yeah, opposite direction. Let's see. Let me cast the down one.
So they're still preparing the nets.
Gintu the fisherman, the fish farmer,
Yes, yes, yes.
live from Nyabohansi. So guys, the show is gonna start. Yeah, the show is starting. Guys, see.
They're jumping on me.
See for yourself.
Oh my God, did I find it? No, I can't find it. I can't. You can see the fish jumping. This is how it gets harvested. We get to drag the net. It looks like the net is big.
The net is big, eh? But we are going to the far end again.
Yeah.
Okay,
No problem, we are coming there.
the third round.
You don't have a small mosquito, net.
Maybe we use a mosquito net, but I don't have it here now.
Ah, you can use a mosquito net? You can also use mosquito net.
Just a minute to get our guidance ready. So we are going, eh?
A minute, please. A minute. Kuna kitu hapa inakataa.
Guys, the third round. They're waiting for Gintu. See Gintu.
I hope to catch more this time round.
Let me zoom.
They already know that you're fishing them. They're disappearing right now.
They have an idea.
I have an idea what's going on.
Oh yeah.
This is the first time you're fishing, right? You're fishing them. This is the first time.
Yeah, the first time.
Yeah, so they're traumatized.
Yeah. Okay, good to go.
They're like, what's going on?
Okay, let's
Some
roll out.
aliens have invaded our home.
Twende tuvua kabla tuseme hiyo siku ya nilikuwa mwisho.
Oh my God, Mori.
Wow, jumping out.
Twende chap.
Maybe you need to walk fast.
Yes. That's the idea. Twende chap.
Hurry up.
You got something?
Oh
For
no,
the-
I think.
Just jump.
They're jumping out. You need to use a small net. Do you have a different net apart from this?
The smaller net?
Yeah.
We have one, eh?
Oh my goodness. You can imagine how many rounds are you going to do?
Yes, imagine for you to get 50 pieces.
But it's just I need a little because tomorrow I just open the whole water to go out. So as now,
Oh my God, you took it back.
Oh,
Now the fish is alone.
it has went. Eh?
but luckily it was one. Luckily it was one.
I have
So
not
the
installed.
fish is alone right now.
So it will grow big.
Yeah, so it's going to have that awesome good amount of water there. Enough we're going to enjoy. Yeah. How many are we having?
I think that's like 3.
3.
Yeah.
Oh my God. 47 to go.
If you can just get even if it's just there.
Live from Nyabuhanse, guys.
Yeah, guys, welcome. It's underscore Gintu. It's underscore GINTU_Gintu. For more uploads of videos in terms of fish farming, I'm there. I can just help you in terms of, you can just comment, and to my brother, just ask me some question I can just impose to you. So I have been doing this work for more than 5 years, so I have experience in terms of fish farming. I'm the engineer behind the construction of a new model fish pond, just called the flying beam fish pond at a marwa site. So I'm just removing some fish so I can just reallocate them from this fish pond to Ayamarwa's fish pond.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
So guys, this is what we have for now.
Let me, but
Guys,
we
look
are
at
going
this,
to
guys.
just test them if they can now adjust to that climate.
Look at this guy here.
Now, let me go once from that end so that I can just get even right.
This
Yes.
Or you want to go again?
Yo, return it.
this guy wanted to jump out of the inside the fish pond. So I put him here so that he.
Oh my god. Guys, we have to do a lot of checks because of the size of the net. I think it's kind of so the fish are jumping out of the net. So they have to do a lot of checks for them to actually catch maybe
Fish pond. I don't know if you guys have seen the fish pond, but it's a very, very unique design. So let's wait and see if we catch more. So right now the process
So guys, the third round, the fourth round, I think. Nice one. So I'm gonna take another angle view.
tumetoka. Ndio hiyo. There's one here. Actually there are two. We have two here.
And water.
Oh,
I'm still recording. Guys, right now we have around like 6 or 5.
wow.
So Gintu,
Aje? Yes.
how's the process so far?
Because of the net,
Yeah.
the holes are the net.
Yeah.
They are so big because they cannot catch. These are small fish, so the net is just a 2-inch size. So we could need a 1-inch size so as we can now get them.
Look at this guy.
Unasema aje? Hata maji imeenda sana, ndio maana nataka niziweke. Ndio na rush kwenda kufanya mtu exam sehemu. Tunaenda. Oh, huko nyuma si ndio? By the way. So iko sawa sasa. Kuna ingine. So acha neti ikauke. Then tunaenda na hizi stuff.
Look at them, guys. They are soaking wet. So can you tell them your name?
My name is Daniel Nyangige.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You are a fish farmer also.
Yeah.
You work here.
Yeah.
So how's the process compared to other days?
Tuko hapa kwa ajili ya kushughulika usafi.
Oh.
Matope ndani kiingia tunatoa.
Yeah.
Hiyo ndio kazi.
So guys, he's saying like he's in charge of making this place clean.
So
Yeah, so repeat your name again.
Yeah, I'm going with this.
My name is Daniel Nyangige.
Daniel Nyangige. So I also have him in my channel, guys, if you saw him. Yes, and he said his name.
So guys,
Yo, bro.
so apparently we have now 6.
6, yeah.
Yeah, we have 6. So
I am marwa site, so I can now install them there. They are just brood fish, so I want to know that climate is so favorable for their growth, or how they can just go on with that life of that far end.
So we are going to Marwa.
I am marwa site.
So let's go.
Welcome, guys.
Yes. So guys, Gintu is very hardworking man, and he know what he's doing, guys. As you have seen him explaining, now we are heading to Ayamarwa's fish, flying being fish, guys. So he's the mastermind behind the whole process. So we are gonna cross the river, guys. So it's a long process, but like I have a question. Like if you don't put them within 15 minutes, are they gonna die?
They're gonna suffocate.
Wow. So guys, yeah.
So we have a calculation
Oh.
whereby you can calculate if you have 1 kg or
Yeah.
2 kg of fish you are just reallocating,
Yeah.
you should have 4 liters of water
Yeah.
per minute,
Oh.
and you should have if like these ones here,
Yeah.
so you can now calculate the
Wow. So they need a lot little more.
So if you have 2 kgs,
Yes.
you are just reallocating,
Yes,
you
guys.
should have 4 liters of water.
Hey, meruka ndo huyu hapa. Yeah.
Inapaa ba.
Safi.
So guys, we are going to the flying being fish pond, guys. So let me record when we are there, because right now.
Survival rate is good. Tomorrow we shall go and harvest more and more and more of them. Yeah. So guys, this is the fish pond here. So I'm going to reallocate them onto this fish pond. As you can see, we have what we got at that part. So I'm going to enter inside here. Yes.
Do this, eh?
Yes.
Kidogo.
Imerais, yeah.
So guys, the water is rising.
Yes.
Yeah. So are you going to put them now inside the water?
Right now.
Okay, let's do it.
Yes.
Wait, let me get this picture.
Yeah, I'm going to
so guys,
install right now onto this fish pond here.
So,
So
move this way. Move this. Yeah.
yes.
Let people see what you are doing.
You can see the level of water.
Look at the level of
That's
water.
rising.
It's rising.
No, it's not this one here.
Since
The
morning.
level of water is just, it can just sink. It's so far. You can see. Yeah.
Wow.
So I'm going to analyze them here so as I can see the survival value
Yeah.
from 2 hours from now, so as we can know if they can just survive onto this water.
And how will you know that, for example, the fish will survive? Will you be able to see it?
Yeah, it will now float if it just die.
Oh,
It will now float.
okay. So
So
guys, we are launching the first fish officially into Marwa's
they are
fish
going,
pond.
They are going, yeah?
Yeah.
You can never see them again.
Yeah.
So the only thing is
If it
we
dies-
throw here food after it's like tomorrow.
Yeah.
So they are now going to just adjust to the climate. Maybe they have stress in terms of transport.
Okay.
Because we have just reallocated them from the other
Fish pond.
the other friends they had there.
Oh.
So that group they had. So they have been reallocated. So you can now see the prosperity from today 2 hours from now.
So in 2 hours, if any dies, it floats like that.
It will float on water.
That will tell you like the water is acidic or
Yes,
just a problem.
it has silt or something else.
Okay,
The pH level is
Yeah.
maybe acidic.
Okay.
So we can just
correct.
raise it by using of lime into 8 to 14. To not pass up about 10.
So the water should be alkaline.
should
Be
be
8 to 14.
8 to 10.
So what if it is 7?
7 is just neutral.
Soldier 7.
Somehow they're just going to adjust with the climate of all the cement that's just around. So
Okay.
because the cement has no so very big because it's like a lime.
Oh,
So
okay.
the cement is like lime.
It's like 7%.
It has around 8. So it's good in terms of maybe it cannot get any harm because it's not acidic.
Ginto.
Yes.
That is good.
They're
Let's
not
see.
floating people. It's not floating here. So we have something constructive reallocated here. So tomorrow maybe we shall harvest the full pond and to the allocation to this pond here.
So let me ask a question.
Yes.
Will this water ever clear? Like,
It will be clear. Even right
so
now
with
it's
time it's
just
going
clear.
to clear up so I can see the fish with time.
By time because
Okay.
like a week. But
Okay.
when you will just throw some feeds here, they're just going to come out and feed. So you just see them feeding.
Usichote hayo.
No.
Anachota ya kujenga hapo. Wewe iko na samaki already.
This now is out of bounds.
Unachota samaki kwa
Thank you guys. Keep on subscribing. It's _Gintu for more things about the fish farming. I'm there for you. Keep it locked. Watch until the end. Thank you guys.